I think one of the biggest aha moments for me was because of what, the energy that I've got. I think I was trying to force myself to do things that I didn't feel were right, or that didn't fit with what I was doing, and that is particularly around social media, and trying to do things when I didn't feel it was right, or writing content that I didn't really want to write because I thought I'd better post something. So it almost gave me permission to not be inconsistent, but to be less hard on myself if I'm not feeling like it, if I want a better word. So I've sort of relaxed a little bit about how I show up on social media, and I'm not as rigid perhaps as I was trying to be. I'm still showing up, and I try and show up every day, but I'm not thinking I've got to do it at this time, or I've got to do a live. And I think, well, if I don't feel like doing a live, I'm not going to do it. So I'm just trying to work with how I'm feeling a bit more, rather than trying to force it. So that's been good. The impact is that I do show up in a better frame of mind, I guess, because I'm giving myself permission to not do what I thought I had to do, but do what I feel like doing instead, which doesn't seem to be having a negative effect. So that's what I'm doing with that. And also I think the message, don't create before selling, was quite good for me, because I've got a lot of plans, but I sort of think, oh, I'm going to have to create all of that, and what if nobody buys it? And now that message of get some feedback first and then sell it was a really good one, because I've got a lot of things that I want to do. And now I know I can get on and talk to people about them and just see whether the ideas are good first before I spend a load of time putting them together. So that was really good. Certainly since I did that, I've had lots of ideas about other things I want to do in my business that I didn't have before. So I've got ideas. Well, I'm launching a podcast in a couple of weeks. I've got a mastermind on the horizon. I've got a membership on the horizon. Those are all things that I didn't have before, and I don't know why that's happened since we did the course. I can't really explain it. I just feel a bit freer, I guess, freer to just get on and do some stuff that I've been thinking about for a long time, and know that I can do it in a way that suits me, and not be following a strict sort of strategy that other people, because so you see other people doing it, don't you think, well, I've got to do it like that, and then you think, well, I'm not sure that I want to do it like that, but I've got to do it like that because that's how everybody else is doing it. And now I can think, well, actually that's not the case. I can do this and do it on my terms, and not make it as difficult or as awkward as it might be. I can just get on and do it. So that's been really good. I feel like I'm a bit more creative, because I'm pretty creative anyway because of the job that I do, but I find that it's a really strange one, because I find that I'm much more creative when I'm doing journalism than I am when I'm working on my own business. I sort of get stuck a little bit when I'm working on my own business, but it's freed me up a little bit to be able to do that. But again, it's just interesting to know that the sort of energy I'm working with. I think one of the interesting things as well was when we looked at the specific versus non-specific, because I was is it a specific, the one that likes the details? And that is definitely me. I'm a big auditor. I like details. I like to know. So I've got to learn to work with that as well, because I try and dismiss that part of myself, because it's a bit like being told you're an accountant. It's like, oh, that's really boring. But now that I know it's just part of my journey, my energy, then I've just got to embrace it and use it for good, really, and not worry too much about it.
Yeah, and it's like saying you've got dark hair or blonde hair, and it just is, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no point trying to. So actually, what I'm doing with that is because I've been sort of ignoring a little bit, doing the auditing of my own business. Now, I've done a lot of auditing in the past of other places and other businesses and hospitals and all sorts of things, but within my own business, I don't tend to get hung up on the detail of the numbers and the specifics, because I'm almost like trying to ignore it. I don't want to be that person that's going to be looking at numbers and poring over spreadsheets and things. But actually, it's made me realise that A, I should be doing it, and B, I'd be good at it if I did it. I've got to get much more into that and just stop being, trying to be this almighty creative energy, and get on and do some of the numbers as well. Well, I think if they're willing to embrace what because it's quite an unusual concept, and I think for some people they could be quite nervous about it, because a lot of people get really hung up, don't they, about, oh, I don't want to do anything that's too woo-woo. But I think my message would be, don't think of it like that. This is just a massively important marketing tool for you knowing what energy you're working with and how you should be working. It just makes your whole business flow much easier because you're working with yourself rather than against, and that just frees you up really to be you and to design your business how it works best for you. And then you don't get that feeling of dread when you wake up because like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, because you're not working against your energy, you're working with it. So like you said, you're in the flow. So it's a really good way to come up with some marketing concepts, some marketing tools, knowing that you can do it the way that works with you best.